Thank you, Mr. President. To the bill. This is an inherently personal bill for me. And the reason why is because the business I own was built almost 100% using the accelerated depreciation schedule allowed in Section 179. I have heard the discussion about, over the last two sessions, about protecting what it seems to me big corporations. I'm not saying that big corporations in this state are not an important part of our tax policy, of our business community. I have seen efforts to spend more money on questionable projects and the idea of creating jobs. And it appears to me that this is about protecting big corporations and protecting big government to the detriment of those who are unemployed and those who own small businesses. My business would not be where it is today if it was not for Section 179. I will tell you that. All the employees that I go that are like family now, that work for my family, my brother and I, they work for us. We rely on them. And the fact is that they wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for accelerated depreciation. And for those of you who don't understand the impact of accelerated depreciation, when you are a small business trying to compete with large corporations, you have no capital. In our business, we compete against some of the biggest names. You guys would know them. And we've been beating them because we've been able to invest in capital projects and immediately expense those that year. This is an inherently personal bill to me. I cannot believe that when we talk about being the stewards or the board of directors for this state, that somehow we're able to protect the big corporations in this state and big government in this state, but small business continues to be kicked aside. Seriously, at some point you have to ask yourself, who is the backbone of this state? And I'll tell you who the backbone of this state is. It's the people that the senator from Corvallis read in his Chamber of Commerce. I'm sorry, it's not taking moss off of a state forest building in a bonding bill. That's not the backbone of this state. I appreciate out-of-state corporations that come in here and put plants in Hillsboro, but for the rest of us who are trying to operate small business in this state, tools like accelerated depreciation is hugely important. My S Corporation pays 9% state taxes, while those big corporations pay a little over 6%. Why? Because they pay corporate taxes, and my taxes on my corporation go to my personal income sheet, and I pay more taxes than them. They have out-of-state capital. They have access to the capital markets. And yet the one program that was meant to help us who are small businesses who are trying to create manufacturing jobs right here, what do? That's the first thing we kick out the door. We have corporate subsidy programs scattered through our other funds budget. But the one program that the majority party in Washington, D.C. kicks down to us, which is an increase in the accelerated depreciation, the Section 129, which will stimulate small and medium-sized manufacturing businesses. That's the first thing we kick out of here. This is an inherently personal bill to me because this is how I built my business. This is, when I look at my employees in the face, this is how they got their jobs. This is not something that picks out a few people. This is everybody's district. In the bill that we had a few weeks back, the bonding bill, I went through it. Not one single project was in Senate District 13. It doesn't bother me. But I'll tell you what, this bill right here is everything about Senate District 13. And the businesses in Kaiser, the businesses in St. Paul, the businesses in Newburgh, the businesses in Sherwood, the businesses in Gaston, the businesses in Wilsonville. That's everything this is about. And I'll conclude with this. Last session, I voted no on almost every general fund budget that came across this floor, and I sent a letter to the Secretary of the Senate explaining why. And I said, the budget you're passing is unsustainable. And I even said it would create a $1 billion hole in this biennium. Check with the Secretary of the Senate. It's there. We have been bad board of directors, and this bill makes us worse. Thank you, Mr. President.